What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba, and let's go right to the charts as we'll discuss things that are happening. And as we look at the short term, we could be getting a potential trade in crude oil right now coming up. The real question is the trend changing? And obviously, we don't know the answer to that yet. We'll need a little bit more proof that we are going to start to head lower. I mean, we expected some selling either way. So again, it's not like definitive that, hey, everything's in trouble. You would expect to get some sell-offs, and right now it doesn't look like we're going to get much of a trade. So let's just take a look at the futures. I mean, again, really, when you look at the bigger picture, we're really just consolidating in the S&P. So there's really not a hell of a lot to do right here. Let's just go back and see if there's anything that's going to develop here. Interesting enough, we're going to get in the volume, but we're not getting a direction to choose here. We've got no real activity that's indicating that we should be trading. So let's go take a look at our usual and take a look at some of the charts. Apple, which we've been pretty much all over. And of course, once again, at about 192.50, you probably want to sell some call spreads here. I think that you've seen the overall movement, and certainly the trend is up. But again, we are reaching a resistance level. So certainly an opportunity possibly tomorrow. I don't know how fast I would jump in today. Again, remember, I like the zero DTE stuff that we can look at, and I think that it's important to understand that. Amazon, again, starting to come down. Now here, you might want to look at selling some put spreads. You're in an oversold condition that's at support, okay? Now you can take a whack at it today, or you can wait till tomorrow. Again, it really depends on your risk and if you want to take the overnight. I really like the zero DTEs because, again, I don't have to, it's only a 3 or 4 or 5 hour trade. Let me just flip back here real quick and see if there's anything worth looking at. Potentially a buy coming in crude here. Okay. So let's take a look here and watch this for the next minute and see if that triggers a potential buy. Okay. And I'm getting a little heavy selling. High volume. You can see this is one of the biggest volume bars of the day. So certainly is something to look at. But of course, we've got to wait until this bar closes and then we can look. Okay. So we can start to take a look now. Now it's on its lows. Okay. So now we're waiting for a green bar here. Right now, if we get a trade here, our stop would be 77.94. Should we get a trade here? 77.94 would be your stop. Okay, let's see what happens here. Don't go too fast up. This is one of the things you got to look at. You got to always weigh the risk, okay, on the trade. And of course, it's coming right back down. And it's really, we want to be a buyer at about 61 or over after the next 15 or 16 seconds. Okay. And no trade as of now. Trade, no trade, and it's a trade. Okay, so 77.94 is our stop. Okay, and put some of my orders into sell should they get there. And there. Okay. So we'll see what happens. We'll let it work. I mean, there's not a lot we're going to do about it. I mean, our game is in. What I like to talk about a lot is that we're playing chess. You have to be thinking well ahead of what's going to happen. Okay. I already know what my stop is at. My only question here is, do I get stopped out? Do I make a profit, or do I get a chance to add on if I get another blow off here? So let's go back and look at what we were looking at before. So Amazon, as we said, I would certainly be looking at potential selling put spreads here. Coin, I would be looking at selling call spreads here. Again, you're getting in those overbought conditions. And all I'm really looking for now, with the real true lack of activity in the market, is opportunity that gives us a high probability of success. So if you're selling put spreads or call spreads, the market doesn't have to go with you. It just can't go against you too far. Okay, so you're really playing a time game. And of course, when you're overbought or oversold, there's a high probability that it will, at worst, hold there. Now, again, there is some continuation on occasion. That we can never say. But again, that's the game we're playing. We're playing a probability model. Meta in the middle of nowhere. Not even a thought of what I could do. Okay. Google in the middle of nowhere. Again, not really much I can do. It is looking like it wants to go higher. Certainly, if it got oversold, I'd be happy to sell some put spreads. IWM, again, in the middle of nowhere. But look where it came from. It came from some oversold conditions. Okay, it wasn't clear, and I wouldn't. It's not a trade you necessarily should have made, but it's a trade that you might have been looking at if it had continued lower. Okay. We just got out of our crude. If you took the crude trade with me, go to break even on your stop. You've now made about 100 and some bucks. Okay, and now you can go ahead and move your stop to break even. Okay, look what just happened. Well, we were away from the ranch. Look at what happened. Okay, and now we have a potential. If it keeps going up, we get a potential total reversal and get to sell it on the other side. Okay, in the meantime, the trade's about a $200 winner if you're trading the micros. Okay, so let's see. And now you have a potential sale on the other side. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to be selling. So you want to use either move your stop up tight or use a trailing stop to get out. Okay, either way, because we're probably not going to get a short, but we did get a blow off. So there's a high probability that it'll probably fall. So let the stop trail up with it, and maybe we'll get another trade here along with it. Okay. Now we're getting to an area where we're going to take a potential trade. We got to be over. I'd like to be over 7,900. Okay, to look at a potential trader, that would be what I'd be looking for right now, just based on the picture. All right, so I'm stopped out of my crude. It was a $200 winning trade. Okay, using 4 micros. So again, whatever you traded, if you traded it, not, hey, you learn. Hopefully you learned something. Okay. In the meantime, not much else going on. Pretty quiet around the ranch here. Just want to see what happens here in the next few seconds in crude. Maybe we get a sale. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to fail and not give us the opportunity, which, hey, that happens. It's part of the game. Okay. So I think it's going to be no trade. Okay. Again, well, it could get there. See, now here, very iffy. So we're going to just pass. We'll come back and look at it and see if it continues. In the meantime, back to the IWM. You should have been possibly looking at, not that it should have been a trade, but it was something that you would have been hopefully been aware of. Moderna continues to get hammered, but yet it was only getting hammered from the overbought conditions, which we talked about last Thursday. Okay. Again, remember, you're playing probability. That's the whole business of what we play. Okay. Right now, there's nothing really for me to do. Okay. It's come down hard, but it went up hard. Okay. It went up from 115 to 170. A pullback to 145 is halfway back. Okay. Microsoft, nothing to do. It certainly could have been something to look at selling some call spreads. But again, we're in an area of nothing right now. Okay. NVIDIA, the bane of my existence, very overbought, but for this never gets breaks until one day it just breaks $100. Okay. Certainly the only trade to be made here is, unless you're a momentum trader, is to be a seller of call spreads. Okay. Again, that is up to you. I've stayed away from it. I've not done well with it the last few times I've traded it, so I've stayed away from it. The Qs, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Again, the other day, very overbought. It was a great sale of call spreads. Okay. Square should be oversold, and it is. Again, I would be looking to sell some put spreads here. Okay. And again, you can wait till tomorrow. If this goes, you'll get more money today, but you have to take the overnight risk versus if you do it tomorrow. Obviously, if it tanks in the morning, well, then you did a good thing by waiting. If it's rallies straight up, well, then you missed out. But you can never worry about missing a trade. Okay. What you want to focus on is, again, continue to put probability in your favor, and then you will never be in total jeopardy. All right. The SPY, again, in the middle of nowhere. Okay. It's not declaring anything. I mean, still, it looks like it wants to still go higher. There's no reason that there's no reason to suspect that the top is in yet and that we're going to trend lower, but we could change. I mean, certainly higher volume, which we don't have. Okay. So there's a lot of factors that don't say that we're ready to start to turn and go the other way yet. Tesla, in the middle of nowhere, looking for a big move. Okay. And of course, we've been looking for that big move for about a week, and it's still really just going straight sideways. It's really not going anywhere. So again, it will move it one way or the other. It's going to move. We don't know which way, but it's going to move. Let's go back to crude. Let me just see something here and see if we can get a back-to-back. We need some more volume to pump in here right now. Okay. We need to see a little spike in volume. And is there anything else going on? Nah, not really. Again, I'm not real overly exuberant about anything that's going on here. It's a little bit too quiet. Makes it a little bit more dangerous when you're trading because you get much bigger swings. On very thin, you get what we call the vacuum effect. Now, I don't think this is going to reach the volume. Now, I'll give you something to think about. If we were really busy and markets were cruising around, then I would look at this differently. I might combine the two. But because we're not really busy, I'm not interested in trying to jump. I'm not interested in trying to guess. Okay. If we're really busy and I see a lot more movement, I'm much more inclined to take a closer look here. But although the price is moving, the volume is not. Okay. Now, if I combine the two, obviously it would be. But again, I'm not interested in trying to create trades. I don't want to create a mirage, okay, that isn't really there. So let's go back and see what's going on with our stocks. Win, okay, which is, again, you'd want to be a seller of put spreads in here probably. Again, everything I'm giving you is very short term, okay? And again, certainly the 0 DTEs, which are the IWM, SPY, and Qs. And then, of course, on Friday, everything is 0 DTE that trades weekly. So, again, we'd want to look for opportunity. And, of course, XLE, certainly would want to be a seller of put spreads. That's another, again. So you've seen probably out of the 20, we look at, about 10 potential setups of trades you may want to look into. Now, again, it depends on how you trade or what you do. But those are things that we would want to look at. So as we look back at the overall market, again, you can see it's pretty quiet, okay? There's a lack of real activity in the market right now. We're certainly basing lower right now with the exception of the Russell, which is higher. But overall, it's a pretty quiet picture. And again, if you look at the key metric here is the volume in the futures, okay? And look at the S&P, very light volume here, okay? You look at the NASDAQ, very light volume. Now, you would think after the selling pressure, normally when markets are going down and they're going to continue to go down, volume is much heavier, okay? As you look back even on these volume bars here, the red bars are almost always bigger than the green bars. So it's telling you that, we're probably going to find a spot, and it wouldn't shock me at all, especially if the selling continues today, that they rally tomorrow. Again, I want you to get away from trying to predict what is and find a reason to get involved. And one of the easiest ways and reasons to get involved is when you see overbought or oversold conditions, okay, that are done on volume, okay, because there's a high probability of a slight reverse in trend, even if it's short term. Again, remember, we're not looking to hold these for weeks. We're looking to make these trades for hours, if not minutes. You just saw we just made a couple $100 on in 3 minutes. Okay, let's go back and see if anything going on here. So this trade would have worked out, but again, I don't look back. I don't care. That's not what we do. Okay, what we do is we continue to try to find overall opportunity. Okay. So once again, it's a very quiet market here to be overly aggressive in, which we're not going to be overly aggressive. And that's the whole key here, is to exercise patience and be able to wait for the opportunities that will show up if you're around to participate in them. Okay. And that's one of the problems that many have, is they're not around to participate because they're too busy getting involved when they don't belong to be involved in the market. And I think that's an important thing to look at as a general rule, as a way to look at markets in general, is that, again, some markets are just not tradable, and you don't have to trade. Okay. Your idea is to get your win percentage up. And when it is busy, then you trade more. Okay. When it's quiet, you want to be quiet. Okay. You want to do what the market is doing. Okay. And right now the market, you can see that we're getting very little movement in 8 different products, 4 indexes: crude, notes, gold, and the euro currency. So those are 8 of the core products that are not virtually not moving right now. I mean, again, they're lower or they're higher, but you're not seeing a lot of speed. You're not seeing a lot of activity. You're seeing a market that's rather dull. Okay. And of course, dull markets, make trading much more challenging. When you get markets that are moving around, you're in a much better shape. It's a much better way to look for trades. So again, this is just very quiet, and I would continue to look to sell premium until we see some more business. I think that's the overall picture. I think it makes the most amount of sense because I think it puts you in the highest position of solid probability if you're looking to trade the spread market. Okay, because again, that takes off the pressure of having to make a decision to get out. It allows you to collect. It allows you to stay in the market as it moves. And I think that's much more important because, again, part of trading is building your bankroll, building your capital. Okay. And I think that's something that you have to remember at all times as well. Okay. You're here to make money. Okay. That you're not here to see how smart you are. You're here to make money. Okay. There's an old saying, amateur traders want to be right. Professionals want to make money. Hopefully you're here to make money. Okay. That's what you want to do in the market. That's why you're a participant in the market, is to make money. So if the money-making opportunities are tough, then maybe you don't want to be trading in them. Okay, that's what you have to remember. Right now, these conditions are a little tough. Okay, so do I want to be overly involved here? No, but if I can find premium to sell, I don't have open-ended risk. I know the exact risk when I put the trade on. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, and then I get to trade. Okay, and when it gets busier, like yesterday, I get to trade more actively. Okay. That's what you're looking for. You wait for your opportunities. That's what the whole business is about. There's opportunities that will show up, and markets don't announce themselves. I mean, we could get busy this afternoon. I don't know. Right now, it's too quiet to want to be overly aggressive. And I think that's what you have to recognize. Okay. Which is why, as your secondary trade, okay, when you're day trading like futures, you're looking to make more money. Okay. When you're trying to sell premium, you're looking to build a bankroll. Okay. Those are the differences in trading is building a bankroll and then getting very aggressive. But again, the more you can build your bankroll, the bigger the size that you can trade as well. So there's a lot of factors and a lot of things you can do. Okay. That you can try to generate some revenue to put yourself in that better position. That's, again, you're here to make money. It's a rev gen, okay? A revenue generating model, okay, is what you're trying to focus on and put yourself in that position, okay? And that's why we sell premium, because again, it's a low risk trade that has a high probability of success, okay? And of course, again, we just want to keep adding to our account so that when we get busy, we can trade bigger and really benefit from those situations that show up. And that is very important in the world of trading. So as right now, gold is potentially going to be somewhat of a possibility, but again, it has a lot more room to go. I don't think it can get down. I don't think the volume can get up enough for me to want to get involved. And again, you can see volume has died off in every market that we're watching. Okay, so again, it's not like, oh my God, I got to get in, because again, remember, if you get in the Roach Motel, you can get in, but you can't get out. You don't want to get caught up in one of these vacuum effect type markets, one of these things that, things just go crazy when you're on the wrong side of the market. Okay. Because again, you want to make sure that you're always prepared for whatever can happen and to be in the best position for whatever can happen. So again, my advice today is just be careful. Look to sell some premium. I don't think there's a lot to do. I don't know if the trend is changing yet. It looks like it possibly is, but again, it hasn't given us proof. And we'll see you back here on Tuesday. And remember, I do an update every morning, the Market 120. Until Tuesday, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.
All All opinions expressed by Tradier Hub contributors are solely the contributors' opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Hub contributors as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. The contributors' opinions are based on their own personal research, but neither Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries warrants its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. Any trades or positions discussed or referred to by contributors may or may not be actual live trades or positions. Such information is not intended to be financial or investment advice. Tradier Inc. is the parent company of Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. and Tradier Inc. are separate entities with their own products and services. Securities products and services are offered through Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. is an independent subsidiary of Tradier Inc., all rights reserved, member FINRA SIPC.